Um, the other thing would, I guess, definitely be the attitude perspective. That I guess most American women would generally exude. And of course, it's not good to stereotype, but we're talking on a general basis here and on a consensus, a majority level. Uh, so forgive me for that end. Uh, but at the same time, I can also speak from personal experience as well, being that I'm a minority. And with the personality of, I guess, maybe I'll say white girls more than I'll say African American women. Um, but this nation is comprised of a lot of races. But those are the two prominent ones in this country. That the attitude, there's just, you really have the supposedly stuck up and the snobbish, supposedly more associated with the white girls, and then you just have that black sisters hood kind of attitude for the African American side. And there's also the supposedly the Latino and the Hispanic type of attitudes as well. But I don't want to go through and split this off so far and so deep. But the attitude is supposedly usually one that's very headstrong, one that is also uh, my way is always right, the alpha female, I guess you could probably call it. And the only reason I bring that up is because the sentiments that I feel that men are looking overseas is one of attitude for their partner, possibly to be a bit more old fashioned and passive. That's not to say that she is subservient, she's a sex slave. She will obey his every command and not speak up or anything else. Those again are two separate ideas, views, and personalities. Um, and I want to go through and try to elaborate a bit more on that standpoint. When I guess a woman is passive and I guess understanding and supportive, that should not be mistaken for subservient and not having an independent mind and being able to speak her mind. That is to just really be understanding and to not take offense to whatever it is and just snap back with an attitude, I guess. And if you want to ask, what's an attitude, we can go through and define the whole 9 yards of that. But in short, personality is another factor for that. Um, I want to go through and tackle the notion that foreign women, it's more difficult to, I guess, put up with them in terms of the language barrier, that they don't know how to speak English, um, the culture barrier, that their tradition and all ways of doing things, perhaps won't coincide. And of course, those are all complications. Does that mean that it can't work? It does not. because every relationship has its up and downs, it has its problems, and it has its complications times to work through. So, that really, when you want to say that a relationship can't work because of language barriers, culture barriers, you're basically limiting yourself to supposedly who's out there and what you want to find. And also, if we go on the basis of, well, I think I deserve better than so and so, or better than this, or better than what I have currently, then that goes into the issue of, am I settling for someone because fear of being alone? And when you settle, that sounds like such a bad thing, such as I'm settling for him because I don't want to be lonely, or he treats me nice, or I fear that if I lose him, I won't be able to find someone else who supposedly deserves me, or someone that I deserve. And that also goes into, does someone really deserve someone else? And what does it mean to settle? So, at the same time, we all have our standards of who we're looking for, what we're looking for in a person, the types of qualities that we seek in our partners. And if we just aren't attracted, and we as guys and girls to the opposite sex, if we don't feel that we are finding that quality in such a person, then there really isn't a need to stay with this person. And I guess that's why we have the option to search and to seek. And that is where I have a problem with the notion of, why can't you find someone locally? And I like to counter with, well, why do I have to find someone locally? The world is vast. There are billions and billions of people out there in the world. And why restrict and limit yourselves to age, location, color? I mean, there's just so many things that's out there and undiscovered. And if you have something in mind, your ideal, what is wrong to pursue that? So that's the other thing about pursuit of our ideals or qualities, and the issue of settling for someone. And they say that settling and accepting someone for their flaws and everything else, it's kind of a gray area on that also.